Eyre, Chapter 26, Part 3. Mr. Rochester continued heartily and recklessly. Bigamy is an ugly word. I meant, however, to be a bigamist. But fate has outmaneuvered me, or Providence has checked me, perhaps the last. I am little better than a devil at this moment, and as my pastor there would tell me, deserve no doubt the sternest judgments of God, even to the quenchless fire and deathless worm. Gentlemen, my plan is broken up. What this lawyer and his client say is true. I have been married, and the woman to whom I was married lives. You say you never heard of a Mrs. Rochester at the house up yonder, Wood, but I dare say you have many a time inclined your ear to gossip about the mysterious lunatic kept there under the watch and ward. Some have whispered to you that she is my bastard half-sister, some my cast-off mistress. I now inform you that she is my wife, whom I married 15 years ago, Bertha Marson by name, sister of this resolute personage, who is now, with his quivering limbs and white cheeks, showing you what a stout heart men may bear. Cheer up, Dick. Never fear me. I'd almost as soon strike a woman as you. Bertha Marson is mad, and she came of a mad family, idiots and maniacs through 3 generations. Her mother, the Creole, was both a mad woman and a drunkard, as I found out after I had wed the daughter, for they were silent on family secrets before. Bertha, like a dutiful child, copied her parents in both points. I had a charming partner, pure, wise, modest. You can fancy I was a happy man. I went through rich scenes. Oh, my experience has been heavenly, if you only knew it. But I owe you no further explanation, Briggs. Wood, Marson, I invite you all to come up to the house and visit Mrs. Poole's patient and my wife. You shall see what sort of a being I was cheated into espousing, and judge whether or not I had a right to break the compact, and seek sympathy with something at least human. This girl, he continued, looking at me, knew no more than you would of the disgusting secret. She thought all was fair and legal, and never dreamt she was going to be entrapped into a feigned union with a defrauded wretch, already bound to a bad, mad, and imbruted partner. Come, all of you, follow. Still holding me fast, he left the church. The 3 gentlemen came after. At the front door of the hall, we found the carriage. Take it back to the coach-house, John, said Mr. Rochester coolly. It will not be wanted today. At our entrance, Mrs. Fairfax, Adele, Sophie, Leah advanced to greet us. To the right about every soul, cried the master. Away with your congratulations. Who wants them? Not I. They are 15 years too late. He passed on and ascended the stairs, still holding my hand, and still beckoning the gentlemen to follow him, which they did. We mounted the first staircase, passed up to the gallery, proceeded to the 3rd story. The low black door, opened by Mr. Rochester's master key, admitted us to the tapestried room with its great bed and its pictorial cabinet. You know this place, Marson, said our guide. She bit and stabbed you here. He lifted the hangings from the wall, uncovering the 2nd door. This, too, he opened. In a room without a window, there burnt a fire guarded by a high and strong fender and a lamp suspended from the ceiling by a chain. Grace Poole bent over the fire, apparently cooking something in a saucepan. In the deep shade at the further end of the room, a figure ran backwards and forwards. What it was, whether beast or human being, one could not at first sight tell. It groveled seemingly on all fours. It snatched and growled like some strange wild animal. But it was covered with clothing, and a quantity of dark grizzled hair, wild as a mane, hid its head and face. Good morrow, Mrs. Poole, said Mr. Rochester. How are you, and how is your charge today? Well, tolerable, sir, I thank you, replied Grace, lifting the boiling mess carefully to the hob. Rather snappish, but not raginous. A fierce cry seemed to give the lie to her favorable report. The clothed hyena rose up and stood tall on its hind feet. Ah, sir, she sees you, exclaimed Grace. You'd better not stay. Only a few moments, Grace. You must allow me a few moments. Take care, then, sir. For God's sake, take care. The maniac bellowed. She parted her shaggy locks from her visage and gazed wildly at her visitors. I recognized well that purple face, those bloated features. Mrs. Poole advanced. Keep out of the way, said Mr. Rochester, thrusting her aside. She has no knife now, I suppose, and I'm on my guard. One never knows what she has, sir. She is so cunning. It is not in moral discretion to fathom her craft. We had better leave her, whispered Marson. Go to the devil, was his brother-in-law's recommendation. Where? Cried Grace. The 3 gentlemen retreated simultaneously. Mr. Rochester flung me behind him. The lunatic sprang and grappled his throat viciously and laid her teeth to his neck. They struggled. She was a big woman, in stature almost equaling her husband, and corpulent besides. She showed virile force in the contest, More than once she almost throttled him, athletic as he was. He could have settled her with a well-planted blow, but he would not strike. He would only wrestle. At last he mastered her arms. Grace Poole gave him a cord, and he pinioned them behind her. With more rope which was at hand, he bound her to a chair. The operation was performed amidst the fiercest yells and the most convulsive plunges. Mr. Rochester then turned to the spectators. He looked at them with a smile both acrid and desolate. "This is my wife," he said. "Such is the sole conjugal embrace I am ever to know. Such are the endearments which are to solace my leisure hours, and this is what I wished to have," laying his hand on my shoulder. "This young girl who stands so grave and quiet at the mouth of hell, looking collectedly at the gambols of a demon. I wanted her just as a change after the fierce ragot." Wood and Briggs looked at the difference. "Compare these clear eyes with the red balls yonder, this face with that mask, this form with that bulk. Then judge me, priest of the gospel and man of the law, and remember with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. Off with you now, I must shut up my prize." We all withdrew. Mr. Rochester stayed a moment behind us to give some further orders to Grace Poole. The solicitor addressed me as he descended the stair. "You, madam," said he, "are clear from all blame. Your uncle will be glad to hear of it, if indeed he should still be living when Mr. Marston returns to Madeira." "My uncle? What of him? Do you know him?" "Mr. Marston does. Mr. Eyre has been the functional correspondent of his house for some years. When your uncle received your letter intimating that the contemplated union between yourself and Mr. Rochester, Mr. Marston, who was staying at Madeira to recruit his health on his way back to Jamaica, happened to be with him." Mr. Eyre mentioned the intelligence, for he knew that my client there was acquainted with a gentleman of the name of Mr. Rochester. Mr. Marston, astonished and distressed, as you may suppose, revealed the real state of matter. Your uncle, I am sorry to say, is now on a sick bed, from which, considering the nature of his disease, decline, and the stage it has reached, it is unlikely he will ever rise. He could not then hasten to England himself to extricate you from this snare into which you had fallen, but he implored Mr. Marston to lose no time in taking steps to prevent the false marriage. He referred him to me for assistance. I used all dispatch, and am thankful I was not too late, as you doubtless must be also. Were I not morally certain that your uncle will be dead ere you reach Madeira, I would advise you to accompany Mr. Marston back. But as it is, I think you had better remain in England till you can hear further either from or of Mr. Eyre. Have we anything else to say for?" he inquired to Mr. Marston. No. Let us be gone," was the anxious reply, and, without waiting to take leave of Mr. Rochester, they made their exit at the hall door. The clergyman stayed to exchange a few sentences either of admonition or reproof with his haughty parishioner. This duty done, he too departed.